Hi, John Dwyer here, and this case study is about a company that is involved in Carnival amusements. And the name of the company is Carnival Land Amusements. And the owner of this company, a lovely guy by the name of James Kemp, came on board my coaching program. And he said, look, we really just want to beef up sales. And I said, well, who's your target audience? And he said, look, we have all the little mini Ferris wheels and the Dodgem cars, and we have the jumping castles, and we have the clowns where you put the ping pong ball in the mouth and all that sort of stuff, typical carnival fair sort of equipment. And he said, our primary target audience is schools. Okay, we are a school fund, we rent our rides and our attractions to schools for their fates, for their annual fates. And that's really where the big money is for us. He said, look, we do corporate events like Christmas parties and things for businesses, and we do some shopping centres from time to time, but where the big money is with the schools. And he said it's pretty competitive because there's a lot of other carnival, sort of hiring companies out there. I said, okay, right, well, show me how you market yourself to the schools. And he gave me a copy of this. Hopefully you can see it there to the camera, okay? And it's a brochure that they will send out to the schools. The schools P&C committee would decide on which company they would use to, provide the amusements for their school fete. And pretty uninspiring, by the way. Okay, it's pretty uninspiring. And because of my sarcasm, I'm just shaking my head. He goes, you don't like it, do you? I said, no. And then when we open up this booklet, we've got a story there on page 2 about his family. Okay, he told us all about his family, and pretty boring stuff of how the business was, founded in 1872 or whatever it might be. And have a look at this. Right throughout the actual booklet, he actually gives you the details of each of the rides, as if we care. The width of the ride, the length of the ride, how many nuts and bolts are in there, and so on and so forth. It was almost like an electrical magazine. And I said to him, OMG, for goodness sake. And by the way, look at the back cover. I mean, the second most valuable page in a booklet like that, and it's empty. So we fixed it for him. I said to him, oh, look, first of all, you've got an identity crisis. You think you're in the amusement hire business when in fact you're Australia's #1 fundraising company. And the reason I said that to him is because I said, have you any hard cold statistics on why your amusements are better than others and the schools make more money out of you than using another amusement company? And he said, yeah, all the time. I said, well, give me some. He said, well, Ipswich Primary School, he said last year they used, another amusement company, and that amusement company didn't realise that the parents of this particular school were reasonably wealthy and they didn't put the right amusements in. And so therefore they didn't make a lot of money. He said, we knew the demographics of that school and the parents, so we put the right rides in because we know what rides appeal to what demographic, and we doubled their fundraising. So it went from, I think I've got it here, it went from, where was it? I think it was $40,000, went to $80,000 that they'd raised. And I'll cut a long story short by saying to you that there was 2 or 3 other examples that were even more stunning. In some instances, they tripled what the fundraising was from using another amusement company, because this guy was the expert. He understood to put the rides in that suited the demographics of that particular school's children and their parents. And I said, okay, well, you don't realise you've got an identity crisis. You're not an amusement company. You're the best fundraising, school fete fundraising company in the country. And he went, yeah, I am. So what we did is that we changed this, okay, to look like this. And let me just show that one to the camera. Hopefully you're seeing that there. Okay. And you'll see it's a very, very different front cover to this. Let me see if I can get both of them in screen here. You can see the before and after. Okay. Very big difference. And instead of on this one here, if I can just bring it up to the camera again, instead of boring people with their life story about, when the business was built and whether his great-grandfather opened it. On this, we cut straight to the chase. When you open this up, basically on page 2, he said, we are school fundraising experts and this is why you should trust us to have your school fete. And on here, basically, he says, this is the way we help you raise more money. And as we go through it, basically, he gives lots of case studies of how they've raised money for people. And then we go through it and give them an easy, look, what was it? I think it was, you can take this package, or you can take that package or that package. And I won't bore you with all the details of it, but the main thing is that he went from that to this, and I think you can absolutely see there's a massive difference in terms of the impact, in terms of the theatre, and certainly in terms of the wow factor and the persuasion factor. This is going to have much more persuasion than that one. You can read all about it below. His business now has just completely skyrocketed. He's a lovely guy, and he's kind enough to have given me a lovely video testimonial, which you'll see below when you go through the case study. Now he's giving the message to Market Match that he should have been doing some years ago. He's giving the message that he's Australia's #1 school fundraising expert, and it happens to be that it's amusements, but the reason he is good and better than anyone else is because he knows the amusements that will suit your demographic at your school. Hope you enjoy that one. Have a look below, and hopefully you can take something out of it to help you with marketing your business.